Imagine sitting in the front row, live television, millions watching, bright lights, cameras rolling, and someone walks on stage. Doing you, your voice, your face, your weird little hand gestures you didn't even know you had. And they're not just doing it. They're nailing it. Welcome to the most dangerous game in comedy. Impersonating someone while they're sitting 5 feet away. On Saturday Night Live, this has happened more times than you remember, and every single time it's a gamble. Because the only thing funnier than a perfect impression is watching the real person try not to lose it. Let's get into the most legendary moments where SNL stars went face to face with the people they were mocking. Bill Hader versus John Malkovich. Pure audacity. Few actors have a voice as hypnotic and strange as John Malkovich. It's slow, measured, almost theatrical, which makes it incredibly risky to copy. But Bill Hader didn't hesitate. With Malkovich sitting right there, Hader leaned in. "Hello, my name is John Malkovich." The audience exploded. Malkovich blinked. And then, the best part, he tried to deny it. "I don't sound anything like that." Which made it 10 times funnier, because yes, he absolutely does. Hader didn't exaggerate and he didn't cartoon it, he surgically replicated it. And doing that while the actual John Malkovich is staring at you? That's elite comedic confidence. Eddie Murphy does Tracy Morgan, standing next to him. This one was almost unfair. On Black Jeopardy, Eddie Murphy delivered a pitch-perfect Tracy Morgan impression. The voice, the rhythm, the unpredictability, and Tracy was right there, watching, trying to stay composed. You could see it in his face, that moment where you're deciding whether to break character or not. Leslie Jones was barely holding it together. Kenan Thompson cracked. The audience was howling. And then Eddie improvised one extra line. That was it. Game over. When even the real Tracy Morgan starts laughing at Tracy Morgan, you know you've hit legendary status. Justin Timberlake impersonates Jimmy Fallon to his face. Jimmy Fallon is usually the one breaking, the giggles, the hand flailing, the over-enthusiasm. So what happens when someone turns that energy back on him? Justin Timberlake walked into a Family Feud sketch and delivered a Fallon impression so accurate it felt illegal. The voice went higher. The hand gestures got bigger. The fake sincerity dialed up to 11. Fallon lasted about 20 seconds before hiding behind the podium laughing. There's something poetic about seeing the king of breaking break. Vanessa Bayer and Jennifer Aniston, a glitch in reality. Vanessa Bayer's Rachel Green impression was already scary good. The breathy tone, the confused inflection, the what no cadence. But then Jennifer Aniston appeared on Weekend Update, standing next to her, and suddenly it felt like the Spider-Man pointing meme in real life. They synced voices, synced mannerisms, and for a split second it was genuinely hard to tell who was who. The audience screamed, Aniston laughed, and Bayer just kept going. That's the magic moment, when the impersonation becomes so accurate it feels like cloning. Dana Carvey in front of President George H.W. Bush. Dana Carvey's George H.W. Bush impression is legendary. The hand gestures, the squint, the awkward phrasing, but doing it while Bush himself was in the room. That's historic. Carvey exaggerated the pointing, cranked up the nasal tone. Bush responded, "I don't see it," which only made it funnier because everyone saw it. There's something deeply American about impersonating a former president to his face, and him laughing along. It's not just comedy, it's cultural therapy. Nicolas Cage meets Nicolas Cage. Some impressions are impressions. This one was psychological warfare. SNL brought Nicolas Cage on to confront Andy Samberg's over-the-top Cage persona. The screaming, the wild eyes, the intensity dialed past maximum. Samberg's version was chaotic. Cage's real reaction, even more chaotic. Instead of rejecting the joke, he leaned in, turned the volume up, out-caged the fake Cage. And suddenly it wasn't an impression anymore, it was a cage-off. That's the genius of celebrities who understand the joke. They don't fight it, they escalate it. Amy Poehler versus Hillary Clinton, iconic collision. Amy Poehler's Hillary Clinton was sharp, confident, almost smug. When the real Hillary appeared in the sketch, you could see the moment of recognition, the smirk, the eye contact, and it wasn't defensive, it was amused. They mirrored each other's laugh, and when Amy asked, "Do you want the earrings back?" Hillary lost it. That's the rare balance SNL sometimes hits. Satire without cruelty. Impression without humiliation. And the real person laughing at themselves. Jim Carrey Family Reunion. Madness multiplied. Jim Carrey is already chaos incarnate. So what happens when multiple cast members impersonate him in front of him? A family reunion sketch. Catchphrases flying. Alrighty then. Elastic faces everywhere. Carrey couldn't handle it. You could see him unraveling in real time. And then Jeff Daniels walked in as Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. Carrey fully broke. Because there's something surreal about watching your own exaggerated personality thrown back at you from 5 directions at once. Bill Hader's Christopher Walken, the gold standard. Christopher Walken's voice is unmistakable. The pauses, the rhythm, the intensity. Bill Hader captured it perfectly. In a Walken family reunion sketch, everyone played a Walken, but Hader, he felt possessed. Every hand movement, every awkward beat. Walken watched, smiled, and you could tell he approved. When the real Christopher Walken thinks you nailed Christopher Walken, that's the Comedy Hall of Fame. Will Ferrell and Janet Reno Dance Party Redemption. Will Ferrell famously played Janet Reno as the unlikely host of a chaotic dance show. It was absurd, over the top, and totally ridiculous. Then the real Janet Reno appeared. Instead of being offended, she danced. On live TV, with Will Ferrell, there's something beautifully unhinged about a former attorney general doing a dance-off with her own impersonator. It wasn't defensive, it was fearless. Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro walk into their own impersonations. Joe Pesci is known for intense, sharp gangster energy. Robert De Niro, same category. So when SNL cast members exaggerated them to cartoon levels, it was already funny. But when the real Pesci and De Niro walked in mid-sketch, the room shifted. The fake tough guys suddenly felt small. The real ones took over and flipped the energy instantly. It's one thing to impersonate cinematic intimidation, it's another to face the real thing. Why these moments work? Here's what makes these sketches unforgettable. Risk, timing, ego management, impersonating someone behind their back, easy. Doing it in front of them, that's bravery. And it only works when the real person is confident enough to laugh. Because the audience isn't just watching comedy, they're watching vulnerability. Will the celebrity get offended? Will they freeze? Will they break character? That tension makes every laugh louder. The psychology of seeing yourself. There's something uniquely human about seeing yourself reflected, especially exaggerated. It forces you to confront your quirks, your habits, your voice. And when celebrities lean into it, they win. Because self-awareness is magnetic. The ones who laugh at themselves become more relatable. The ones who resist, the room gets awkward. SNL has mastered that razor's edge for decades. The hardest part? Not breaking. For the cast, the real challenge isn't the impression. It's not breaking. Jimmy Fallon is famously bad at this, but even the strongest cast members crack when the real person starts laughing. An improvised line lands too well. Eye contact locks in. That's what makes it electric. Live television, no edits, no safety net, just reaction. In an era where celebrities control their image obsessively, these moments feel rebellious, raw, unfiltered. Because when someone impersonates you perfectly to your face, there are only 2 options: be offended or laugh. And the best moments in SNL history happen when people choose to laugh. So the next time you see a celebrity sitting in the front row and someone walks on stage doing their voice, watch closely, because you're not just watching comedy, you're watching confidence collide with satire. And when it works, it's unforgettable. If you enjoyed this breakdown of SNL's boldest face-to-face impressions, let me know your favorite in the comments. Was it Eddie Murphy's Tracy Morgan, Bill Hader's Walken, Justin Timberlake breaking Fallon? And if you want more deep dives into legendary live TV moments, hit subscribe, because when comedy gets risky, that's when it gets historic.